pushing my limits in the embrace of shadows. My arms were stretched above my head, bound firmly but gracefully with soft silk ties. Each knot pressed gently into my skin, drawing the contours of my confinement while simultaneously offering a sense of security. My eyes were covered with a silky blindfold. Darkness had completely overtaken my sight, imprisoning me in a world where only the dance of sound and sensation remained. In the silence of the room, the echo of 2 pairs of footsteps resonated, heavy, rhythmic, like a metronome marking time. My breath caught in my chest for a moment, caught between anticipation and vulnerability. I was defenseless, trembling, yet within this moment, time both stood still and flowed. A quiet determination burned inside me. I had chosen this.
This story made you feel
I had
something.
wanted this.
Please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Because this is more than just a story. It's a journey that continues with you. Maybe the next
Days
character
ago,
is born
I
from a
had whispered
sentence
a
you
single
leave behind. Yes, my voice trembling but resolute. That word had now become an irreversible vow. This room was a creation of my obsessive imagination, a sanctuary I had shaped with meticulous care. The snow-white sheets were laid out flawlessly, like part of a painting.
Dim lights danced with the flickering flames of candles, casting shadows on the walls. The faintly sweet scent of beeswax mingled with the cool air, anchoring me to the reality of this moment. As my mind drifted toward the edge of the unknown, I clung to the smallest details to stay calm. I had straightened the pillows again and again, wiped down already spotless surfaces repeatedly, and rearranged the white lilies on the nightstand as if they were a piece of art. Every action was an attempt to maintain control, a desperate effort to find grounding in the unknown. When I looked in the mirror, my reflection was both familiar and foreign. Black lace lingerie clung to my skin, shimmering slightly in the candlelight. It was a way to expose a part of myself I could barely admit existed. My fingers traced the delicate edges of the lace, each touch making my heart race faster. It wasn't fear. It was a mix of courage and tension. I didn't know what would happen, but I knew what I wanted. The unknown had sparked something within me, a desire to push my limits, to rediscover myself. As I moved around the room, the coolness of the wooden floor caressed the soles of my feet. Heavy velvet curtains completely shut out the outside world, cocooning the moment. The candlelight spilled golden warmth across the floor, softly illuminating every corner of the room. Every detail was intentional. Who would arrive and how they would arrive mattered just as much. With trembling hands, I repositioned a candle as if something still wasn't quite right. My mind was fixated on the perfection of the ritual. Everything had to be flawless because this wasn't just an experience, it was a transformation. Then, 3 slow knocks echoed at the door. Silence was pierced. My heart stopped for a beat, then began to race. The moment had arrived. The door opened slowly, and they entered without a word. Their presence filled the air like a storm. The taller one stepped forward first. His movements measured, his posture confident. He didn't ask if I was ready. He didn't need to. The sharp, familiar scent of his leather jacket reached my nose, grounding me like an anchor. He approached, placing the blindfold gently over my eyes. The world was plunged into darkness. In the dark, every sound was heightened. The rustle of fabric, the rhythm of his breath, the thundering of my own heartbeat echoing in my ears. He moved behind me, standing just a breath away. I could feel his heat on my back, his presence undeniable even without touch. His hand rested on my shoulder, gentle but distinct, like a signal. I tensed, but didn't pull away. His touch guided me, like a compass.
I allowed myself to let go, surrendering to his guidance in the dark. Not being able to see magnified every sensation. I could hear his steps, a faint creak echoing through the room. With each movement he directed, my heart beat faster. The tension inside me was rising, and control was slipping from my grasp. I was alone in the darkness, yet I felt protected. As my mind sank deeper into the silence, my body unraveled with each touch. He guided me with his presence, and I followed. Our bond was shaped through touch, a wordless conversation. Then he stepped away. Silence once again enveloped me like a blanket. My breath remained uneven, my body trembled, but this was only the beginning. This time, the other one approached. Their presence was denser, quieter, yet deeper. Their hands found my wrists, lifting them slightly higher, tightening the bindings. Their fingers were cold and deliberate, yet there was a subtle gentleness in their touch. A thin strip was pressed against my lips. I could no longer speak. I was blind and silent, but I had never felt more alive. Their fingers brushed over my hips, adjusting my posture. My skin burned as if under a rain of sparks. The pressure within me was building, spreading through my entire body in waves. They held me, not letting go until the intensity subsided. Then, just as silently, they stepped back. I was alone. Every muscle trembled. My breath was shattered. But it wasn't over yet. The energy in the air shifted once more. Someone had returned, maybe both of them. I felt a hand at my waist, firm, commanding. Another hand touched my shoulder, guiding me. My stance was corrected again. The silk bindings creaked slightly with the adjustment. They were both around me, their steps synchronized, careful and strong. My body moved to a rhythm under their guidance, as if I were caught in a dance. I couldn't see, couldn't speak, but I felt everything. Each touch rippled through me, breaking me down and building me anew. Time, space, identity, all dissolved. My mind was lost in the intensity of the moment. With every breath, every touch, I pushed my limits. This was not submission. It was liberation. In the darkness, in the embrace of shadows, I was finding myself again. The room was no longer just a space. It became a mirror, reflecting dancing shadows on the walls, mirroring the chaos inside me. The scent of beeswax still hung in the air, now mingled with others, leather, sweat, and the intensity of the moment. My body had become part of the rhythm, reshaped by every touch. Their presence was like a storm, both destructive and creative. Hands roamed my skin, each one writing its own story. The bindings kept my body anchored, while my mind roamed free. This moment was a paradox. Vulnerability and strength, fear and courage, control and surrender. Every feeling fed the next, pulling me from one extreme to another. And then, for a moment, everything stopped. Silence reigned once more. My breath echoed in the stillness of the room. But this silence was not an ending. It was a beginning. Because this was not just an experience. It was a journey. I had pushed my limits, and in the embrace of shadows, I had found myself again. And this story stirred something inside you, like subscribe and tell me what you felt in the comments. Because what I share is only complete when you write too. And maybe the next story begins with a word you leave behind.